All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Group Chart Analysis. It is Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday, August 22nd, 2018. And we're just looking at some of these pairs right now. And you guys know my four favorite pairs are EU, Gold, GU, and AU. And it did as perfect. It went perfectly. It did as expected. Some of them continued up. So if you actually would have caught the rise on the way up to form that head on the head and shoulders for most of these pairs, what you should want to see right here, you could have taken that. On GU, you could have taken this here. On AU, you could have taken that little short rise up to the blueberry again, bounced right off of the water on the hour, which is the Mayo on the 15-minute. Could have caught a bunch of shit. But, and this is why I tell you guys to wait for certain setups, because if it's not there, it will eventually consolidate. It always will consolidate. There will be a pattern that forms, and if it doesn't form, it's just going to keep going in that direction. And this is literally what I've been waiting for. So what we're seeing right now is EU, Gold, GU, and AU set up perfectly for the reversals that we have all been waiting for. AU is actually already making the move. So if anybody is catching this, if you guys want to sell AU, you can. You can take this shit all the way back down. Like, this shit's tanking. It's going to go all the way back down. Let me just make sure in the daily looks good. I believe this thing's going to keep continuing. The weekly is looking like it's throwing a wick. Yep. Hours looking good. If anything, you guys can wait on the 15-minute, wait for a minor pullback, maybe to retest that blueberry that it just broke right here in the 15-minute, and then you guys can look for a possible re-entry. If you want to place your pendings here, you can. If you want to place a trade now with a small risk so that if it does pull back, you can enter in, you can do that. But I'm telling you guys again that this thing is going to be dropping. Reason being, it's a head and shoulders. All right, look at this. This is the head and shoulders forming. You have the, let me see if I can find the hour. So this one is a little bit different. The 15-minute looks cleaner, so I'll go back to the 15. You have the left shoulder, the head, the pinnacle of the head and shoulders, and then you have the right shoulder essentially, and boom, you got the drop. So now that it's dropping, after it drops, you're waiting for a pullback, consolidation, redrop again. This second drop, guys, is a guarantee. All right, so you're waiting. You are waiting. I mean, like I said, if you want to come in now and understand that by tomorrow morning it's going to be in profit, you can take that, or you can wait for the consolidation, wait for it to shoot up, and then you can tank again, because that's what it's going to do. This thing is going to consolidate, and it will straight drop. All right, so that's AU. Continue to drop. EU, same shit. These pairs move in coordinates to one another. AU is dropping already. That means you guys are going to be looking for the same exact thing on EU. It's in level 3 on the 15-minute. The 4-hour has been consolidating right on the Mayo. It's been throwing these patterns through a railroad at the top here. And on the 1 hour, it looks good, setting up for a head and shoulders. And it also came out of the volatility band, if you see here, for that breakout. So what we're going to be doing here is this is the left shoulder, this is the head, this is your USD. The pair makes its move during London, New York session. And AUD made its move already because it's an Asian session pair. That's why it's moving right now, because it's Asian session. So it's dropped here. What you guys want to do is wait for the pullback up. Where to? If you guys place pendings at the peak of this right here, there's two things that can happen. It cannot hit it, and then you can just manually look for an entry as it doesn't hit it, or you could place a pending right at the top and fucking let it hit. If it hits this part right here, I can tell you right now, it will hit it, go maybe a little past it or right on the wick of it, and it will fucking tank. So just be ready. 4-hour looks good. It's overbought. Let me see the 1 hour. I'm just gonna make sure. It's overbought. It's divergent. All right. So, and let me just kind of, let me see this daily. Perfect. Look at that. Right off of the daily water. But I'm also looking at this like this, because there's a couple things on my mind right now. Hold on. And I'm going to say it, because if I don't say it, I don't want people to say that, oh, he didn't bring it up. Oh, I could have known this. This is setting up for a reversal, which is what I like. The only thing is that I'm looking at right now is the fact that this is setting up for head and shoulders. The only thing I don't like is that it's on the blueberry in the water, meaning this might set up or consolidate. My fear is that this thing will bounce off the water and continue. That could happen because this is past the blueberry technically. Let me look at this weekly. Weekly is showing it's coming back into the volatility band. Trying to make sure. I'm trying to give you guys as many options here as possible, right? Because EU isn't a pair that just, I mean, it can, but it's not necessarily a pair that will break an EMA like this and then just continue back down. GBP pairs do that shit. So if I can see recently, because normally it will hit it and then take a bounce right off of it. Let me see if I can find this daily. The only thing is that this daily, it never even formed another pattern. It didn't come down to retest it. That's why I'm like looking for this thing to drop. So I want this to drop. My idea is look for it to pull back here and then you can sell it. But I also do want you to be aware that if it doesn't, it could possibly bounce off this water and continue up. I mean, that's just EU. So we'll be keeping an eye out. But I like it for a drop still. That's my favorite part. Gold, same shit, divergent on the hour. Looking like a nice setup here for a drop. Left shoulder, head, drop here, pull back, retest the left shoulder area. There, hits it, tanks. That's what I like. And it's a downtrend, and it needs to retest that low. Look at the daily. It needs to come down to form a W. It won't just rise. It needs to retest. So we'll be looking for that drop tonight on gold. Same shit. Look for a drop. GU. GU is completely cool. This is bouncing right off the 144. I like it. It's divergent on the 4 hour. The daily is looking good. The 1 hour is looking good. It's divergent on the 1 hour as well and overbought. Left shoulder, head, drop down to the water, pull back, retest, enter, head and shoulders, drop, first take profit, Mayo, or down to that low because it's a downtrend. So that's what y'all be looking for in GU. We just went over AU. U-Chief, same thing. This is the 15-minute. What I see here on the 15-minute is divergence going all the way down. It's extremely oversold, divergent as fuck. Ideally, this would be like the left shoulder, right? You got like the head, shoot up, pull back, right shoulder, rise to that ultimate blueberry. Let me go to the hour, kind of see if I can get a cleaner look, because the 15-minute can sometimes get in the way. Yeah, so this would be ideal. You're going to wait for this thing to shoot up towards that water, pull back. You can enter like right around here, about this area. Pull back, enter, rise. So you're going to be looking for the reversal on U-Chief tonight. UJ, look at that. Fucking beautiful. What were the two options I gave you or three options I gave you guys last night? Either come down, retest here, and go up. Didn't do that. Either come up, shoot down, and retest there. Didn't do that. Or come up, break it, come down, came down here, but break it, and then retest right off the water, continued up. And where did it go? Right to the trend line, which still has room, right? So if we're going to continue with this. If it breaks this trend line, pull back, rise. Entry on the retest. If it doesn't break this trend line, bounces off of it like it did every other time, you know what you're doing. You're selling it. It's midweek reversal. It's not divergent. It's coming out of the volatility band into the overbought region. So there's possibilities that this thing actually might break that trend line. 4 hour. This looks good too. Breaking out of the volatility band here. I want to see how it works over here. If it breaks that Mayo, breaks this trend line, we'll be looking for a retest to go up. And ultimately, I do like UJ for a buy. So I'm looking more towards this to break that trend line, and then ultimately we'll look for that pullback during New York session, London session the next day. Maybe you can play this thing for a buy on Friday and continue out the week for an uptrend. So that's what we'll be looking for there, and it correlates nicely with GJ. So what we were being shown on GJ the other day was that when it broke out of this trend line here and broke to the upside, it was a straight rise up consolidation. I told you guys it was going to continue. I wanted this thing to drop a little bit more down. It didn't do that. It just kind of just consolidated here, which is okay. And it continued up. So if you overall have the direction of GJ going up, you would have been right. Thing is, it's divergent here on the 15-minute. Doesn't mean shit though, because it made the new high. So what's going to happen is as this goes up and this comes down, what we're going to see is this break down here. You can look for a re-entry up here for the buy to go up. So this would be the midweek reversal right there. That would be the reversal for the buy up. So look for that, pull back down, rise up. EA, this is the thing that I was waiting for. So I told you guys that there was a possibility of this continuing up. It did, which is not necessarily good because we have this thing for a long-term, I wanted this thing for a long-term sell, but there's also indications for this thing to continue up. And I told you guys yesterday that you have to be on your feet when it comes to making adjustments in your trades. This thing fucking took off. Like, this is not expected. Like, unless the AUD news came up, it's still within this zone here. You got all the highs here. It still has room. Overbought on the 1 hour, on the 4 hour. Overbought on the hour. It's divergent. So a couple things can happen, as in this can consolidate, tank, pull up, and drop for head and shoulders, or this is just going to consolidate out and then eventually continue up. We'll have to see how that goes. I'm not liking EA at this very moment. Daily, it's above the stationary. It's coming outside the volatility band. Weekly, this could just be one massive wick. This is going to be very, very interesting. But at the same time, I'm also kind of hopefully no one's still in EA and either your stop loss got hit or you pulled out in profit over all the other times that we've been looking at. But the reason why I still might think that this is going to go up is because I have AU for the drop. And AUD, USD, and Euro AUD, they inversely correlate. So if AUD drops, EA rises. And AU is fucking tanking. So be on the lookout for EA. All right. If anything, this thing's over fucking blown out. It's been moving, and it is AUD pair, hence the movement. So just be careful. GBP AUD, same shit. It's moving in correlation with GA. It's going up. Here's the high. So these pairs I can admittedly say I was wrong on. They're very strong pairs. They move like this for however this works, but it's coming up. It's retesting that water. It's in a massive consolidation zone. The EMAs are very tight on the daily, so anything could happen. Because of that, this thing could continue to keep going. Because the EMAs are like this can literally keep straight rising. All right, and I'm gonna see if I can get some entries on here for you guys. GBP AUD, it just rose. It's coming up to that high. I still think it's gonna retest it. So if anything, you're looking for a consolidation and then a continued rise. That goes for EA as well. I just don't really see this thing dropping right now. It's not even divergent on the 15-minute, meaning it's not divergent on the hour, meaning it's not divergent on the 4 hour. This thing blows, and it's breaking that blueberry. If it breaks that blueberry in the hour, guys, game over. Consolidation above it, continued rise. So just be on the lookout. You guys may want to buy GA and EA. GZ, I told you not to fucking touch. G Chief, the other night we said it was going to go up to that Mayo. It did hit it, but I still overall have this thing for a sell. So look for this thing to be continuing to drop and retesting this low down to here. And coming down to retest that recent daily low. So just be on the lookout at this pair. It's not like the best looking one, but ultimately I do have it dropping again to retest. And then UCAD, let's see, 1 hour. So it bounced off of the trend line the other day. It was on Sunday, Monday, and it continued to drop. It was Sunday, actually. It's coming up. It's testing this trend line again. We got this one here. There. couple spots, but I ultimately think that this thing could. Let me keep looking. Hold on. All right, so it threw a railroad on the 4 hour. That's huge. CAD pairs and GBP pairs will throw the most railroads, and typically when they do that, they are signs of a massive reversal coming. So that means a wick on the daily, or it's setting up for a railroad on the daily as well. That's the 1 hour. That means, and it's divergent. This could possibly continue up. So if anything, a couple things. Either comes up, retest this trend line and then drops, or blows past it, or retest both these trend lines and goes up to that blueberry. So just be on the lookout. Be careful. Wait for this thing. Wait for it to move up a little bit higher and then see what it does. If it breaks it, you know you're going to look for a pullback and a buy. If it doesn't break it, it consolidates and throws an M, you know you're looking for a drop or a evening star or a railroad, whatever it is. And that's on the 15-minute, but you know what to look for. So does anybody have any questions? That's kind of like all the pairs that we were going over, but you guys already know my 4 favorite pairs, and AUD is already making the move right now, and it's still making the move. I like GU, I like EU, I like gold. These are all good pairs for continued drops, ultimately back down to their lows. So let's be prepared. Let's get in the market. Midweek reversals are here, and this is where we're going to be able to rack the fuck out. So, any questions? Kind of just like went through that shit. Just no questions. I'll be posting this up in the group. Keep your eyes peeled tonight. Wait for London session on some of these pairs. AUD made his move, so just wait for London session on the Euro USD and GBP USD. Place your pending orders at the top of the left shoulders, and you guys should be able to rack the fuck out. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. It's Wednesday. Tomorrow I'll be in Minnesota. I'm heading out in the morning. So if I have to move any times, I'll let you guys know. But I'll be on the road tomorrow. So I'll talk to you guys then. Everyone have a great night. Peace out. Much love. Rack out.